Hi YouTube, I have decided to start a channel to kind of document my family's life and journey with children with disabilities. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 kids. I have a little boy who is about to be 10, a little girl who is about to be 8, and then I have a 3.5-year-old who was diagnosed at 17 months with systemic juvenile idiopathic rheumatoid arthritis. It's also known as JIA. Currently, um, he has systemic type. He also has macrophage activation syndrome, which is an FHL3 genetic mutation. That stands for hemophagocytic lymphohistiocytosis. I know it's a lot of big words. I also have a 2-year-old that has multiple cerebral palsies, and pretty much all that means is they aren't really sure what type he has. If you know anything about cerebral palsy, there's a lot of different types. There's Bell's palsy and Erb's palsy. They really don't know what type he has. He was born with it, obviously, but he doesn't really fit into any of the categories. So they're still kind of doing a lot of testing and trying to figure out if they can pinpoint it. He didn't have any labor or birth traumas. There was no traumas during my pregnancy. So they really didn't know where to start. He's already had an MRI, and the MRI came back that there was nothing wrong, that everything's completely normal. He'll be going to see a neurologist in the future to check for possible seizures. And I'm sorry, this is my first video and I'm really nervous on camera. Pretty much he's perfectly healthy. He has problems swallowing, so he isn't able to eat solid foods, really. Sometimes he'll tolerate like whipped cream or pudding. He really likes tapioca pudding. But he has a really hard time swallowing it, and he chokes a lot. So right now he's on a strict milk and Pediasure diet until we can figure out why he has such a hard time swallowing. For the swallowing aspect of things, they diagnosed him with oral phase dysphagia, and if you want to look it up on Wikipedia or WebMD, all that means is that he has a hard time swallowing. There's something wrong with the process. I don't know if it's like the suck, breathe, swallow thing like you deal with brand new newborns. But other than that, he's completely healthy. He's had a couple normal colds through his life. He's super happy, always happy. He can't sit up on his own or crawl, and he's completely nonverbal. But to hear all that, he is like the happiest baby ever. So he's just awesome. Our 3-year-old, we started noticing signs that there was just something different when he was about 3 months old. He got this really weird spotty rash and would have fevers, but we kind of just chalked it up to eczema. He went to a dermatologist and they said eczema, which sounded right. A lot of my family has it and a lot of my husband's family has it. So it was like, okay, we can deal with this. But the older he got, the more things changed. And I'll make another video kind of explaining his whole story in more detail. But we finally got a real diagnosis when he was 17 months old. And we were referred to a rheumatologist at Children's of Birmingham in Birmingham, Alabama. They originally diagnosed him with polyarticular JIA. And all that means is that it affects his joints equally on each side of his body. So if the arthritis was in his left wrist, then chances are it would be in his right wrist, and it just kind of goes from head to toe. But about 2 months later, things got really bad. We ended up in the hospital with him, and he was admitted into the PICU, the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. We almost lost him, and again, I will try to make a video with all the details and everything to that. But really, I'm wanting to make a video. I would like to reach out to all the other JIA families and families with children with disabilities And maybe something that I say in my videos or things that we go through will be able to help another family. I know that when you have a family, when you have children with disabilities or any family with disabilities, it is a really hard road to walk, especially when you're alone, or even if you're not alone, if your family is very involved and very supportive, unless you have someone else who's going through the same thing, you feel completely isolated. Um, my JAA community on Facebook has been incredible. I don't know what I would do without them. We have made so many friends and so many supporters for our 3-year-old that we would be completely lost without them. Anytime we have any questions or, do I give this med when he has a fever? I'm able to go on there and I'm able to talk to them and they get me through it. If I'm not able to get to his doctor's in time or if it's after hours or on weekends, they're definitely the people that we reach out to and we talk to the most. Also, our 3-year-old, because of his medical background, he was also accepted for Make-A-Wish. We just met with our Make-A-Wish team a couple weeks ago, and we got that set up. And he's decided he wants to go to Disney World. We went to Disneyland a few weeks or like a week prior to that. And he just decided that he had not had enough Mickey and Donald. His favorite character is Donald and Mickey, the Fab Five. So he's ready to go back to Disney World. And so I'll also kind of document our journey with Make-A-Wish and our trip. I'd also like to update on doctor's appointments and answer any questions that anybody has. I'm 28 years old. I have 4 kids. My husband, he's amazing. He works out of town a lot, unfortunately, right now, just to support us. He's not retired, but he got out of the military. He was in the Army for almost 11 years. He's fantastic. But unfortunately, like I said, he's not able to be home a whole lot. So it's just me and the kids most of the time, and he comes home whenever he possibly can. As of right now, he's like to be able to work closer to home. My passions, I love DIY things. I like arts and crafts. Maybe I can do some DIY videos for you guys. My husband is obsessed with reptiles. We have a chameleon and a lot of snakes. All ball pythons right now, though in the past we have had, I think, almost every reptile there is. But since we've moved around a lot with the military and then moved around a lot with doctors and life events, we've had to kind of slow down on it. But yeah, so this is my first video. Okay, hold on just a second, buddy. This is my first video, and if there's anything that you want to see or any questions you have, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. This is my little guy. He just woke up from a nap. But yeah, anything, leave it in the comments below. Give me a like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.